Welcome to the Grow Your Business for Good show. This is a place where coaches and consultants gather so you can learn how to lead a world-class business that does not tax your time, your energy, or your financial resources. We are your hosts, M. Shannon Hernandez
and Amy Hager of the Joyful Business Revolution. And our number one goal is to bring you clarity and insight on how to grow your business for good. Hello, 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 wherever you are in the world today. Thank you for joining me. I'm Amy Hager with the Joyful Business Revolution and co-founder of the Content Personality Club. And I am excited to have another expert guest with me today. And if you're catching us in season 3, you have noticed Shannon has been missing. And it's because I'm taking the mic over with some amazing people in our community to really talk through their stories and their journeys. And so Karianne is joining me today. Hello, Karianne.
Hello, Amy.
I am so excited because Karianne's been, Karianne's been around for a while, and to be able to be on a long-term journey with somebody is absolutely amazing. And we got a chance to actually be on a CEO retreat in Cozumel, Mexico, a little over a year ago. And just to get that one-on-one time with somebody who is as inspiring as Karianne is just so cool. Like, the network that we build is great, but it seems so much more than a quote unquote network. It really is truly a family. And so Karianne, for our listeners today, who are you? Where are you? What do you do in this world?
Thank you, Amy. Hey, everybody. I'm Karianne Munstedt. I am primarily a portrait photographer for women, just giving them beautiful, empowering experiences and making photography really fun. I am based in Phoenix, Arizona, but clients come in from all over the place to see me. I also do other things. I sometimes lead retreats. I sometimes do some coaching as well. But for the most part, my primary is photography.
Before we jump into today's episode, we want to invite you to join us in the Content Personality Club. In this club, we help coaches and consultants attract your perfect fit clients. Here's what we know. When you tweak and enhance your messaging, or maybe even overhaul it, your business is going to get a whole lot better.
If you are experiencing any of these specific problems in your business, we want to help you. Number 1, you publish content via email or social media, but it doesn't consistently convert to new clients, nor does it have the fire, flair, and feel you desire. Number 2, if you're spending lots of time launching and reworking your offer, but you don't have the number of clients you think you should based on all of your hard work. Or number 3, you have spent money on ads and or copywriters in the past, but none of it worked like they said it would.
Then we've got great news for you. Join us in the club where you'll learn how to leverage your content personality to create magnetic messaging. Because when your messaging is working, it does 90% of the heavy lifting for you. Visit www.contentpersonalityclub.com to join now. I love that. And if you ever get a chance to explore Carrie's 40 over 40 project for women, it is so cool to see the beautiful publication that she's created, the photos and the story of these women. Again, I love people's stories. And so Karianne, like, that project is one of my most favorite ones out there. And I applaud you for putting it together and just seeing what sometimes we can't see in ourselves.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And I think that's one thing too that we'll kind of dive into deeper in our conversation today is just what we see in ourselves, what we see in our business. It sometimes isn't aligned. Mm-hmm. And one thing that was really cool with working with you a long time ago was figuring out how your lifestyle values played in your business. Mm-hmm. And before uncovering this, I know you had told me you were working like 7 days a week, 8 hours a day. And it was like you were chained to this business of yours, and it really wasn't serving your highest lifestyle values. And so I think before we dive in too deep, Karianne, what does it mean to you to be running a business in your highest lifestyle values? Like, what is the definition of this thing that we're talking about?
Yeah, I'll try to explain it in the way that I think of it, and then you can jump in too with,
Totally.
kind of how you define it too. But I guess it's just like, it's like having a business that helps to like, oh gosh, I know we just talked about it a minute ago and now I'm losing all the words for it. But it's just like having a business that supports you as a human being, right? Like not your, it's like in what you want to do in your life and the things that are really important to you in your life, that, and having this business support all those things. So so you are fully experiencing all of them rather than being chained to the business and not getting to, fully express who you are as a human because you're so chained to your business. So I hope that is that's kind of my definition of it. What's your definition of it, Amy?
Well, so then I think you're nailing it, where the business supports the things for you that are really important to you in your life, right?
Exactly, exactly.
And so using your lifestyle values to actually make business decisions seems
Yes.
bonkers to
Yes.
people.
And that's, sorry, thank you for bringing that up too. And that was like such a different way of looking at things, right? Like looking, okay, is this decision going to support, I identified 3 top lifestyle values. Do you want me to say
Right.
what they are real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So one of them was spending time with my family, doing experiences with them / time away from work because I was working so much, right?
Right.
Like not only was I working 7 days a week, 8 hours plus a day, but I had a 2-year-old at home at that time too, right?
Yeah.
So I was missing time with my baby, my husband.
Mm.
It was my second top lifestyle value was empowering women, and my third top lifestyle value was like self-love and self-care. So then it's like, okay, every decision that comes my way in my business, is it fulfilling one of these 3 things? And if it's
Yeah.
not, then I don't do it. And it made making decisions so much easier. Yes,
Uh,
thank you for saying that, because clearly it's flowing for me now.
yeah. Well, and I think that then when we look at building businesses off of our lifestyle values, having that way to simply do a check and balance, as
Yeah.
boring as that sounds, but still having that way of doing a check and balance, it is so different than what I hear a lot of people doing, which this is my business here on the left and on the right is me.
Yeah.
And they're 2 separate things.
They're
That's
not.
impossible. That's
Yeah.
an impossible alignment to ever make.
No.
And so business and life are really merged together. And
100%.
when we accept and embrace that, and instead of building a business just to make money, to serve clients, to do all these things, if we are building a business to serve us at our highest lifestyle values,
Yes.
so much more joyful and in alignment.
So much more joyful in alignment. Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. That's where the magic happens, people. That's where the joy really, really happens. And I actually have a one-on-one client right now. Man, I've been spinning with her. And there's something, and I think this is part of the magic. I don't know what it is yet. To be continued, ... There is something that is not aligned. And she told me today, give me more assignments, give me more assignments. And I'm like, I don't think you need to be doing more. I don't think the do is what needs to happen. I think what we need to do is we need to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
And I haven't run lifestyle values with her yet.
Oh, that will be so powerful with her.
I think that's going to be our next step. And, she's coming to us because her messaging isn't attracting ideal clients. She's attracting people who are older, who aren't willing or wanting to make the change, but they love the message that she's saying.
Yeah.
She wants to attract someone younger who's willing to make the change. She's a financial coach. And, so I'm excited to run this with her, but I know that I'm going to get a little pushback.
Sure.
And I think the pushback that we get when we talk about building businesses off your lifestyle value is it's so much in your head.
Yeah.
Business is in your head. Business is a thing you do. Business is a
Right.
thing how you serve.
Yeah.
It's putting that into your heart.
Yes. I love
And
it. I love it.
It's so different.
Well, exactly, because it's one thing for me to say that my very top lifestyle value is more more experiences and time off so that I have more experiences with my family. But actually, so saying it is one thing, but actually putting that in practice when you're working with someone who's working 7 days a week, 8+ hours a day, is a totally another thing. It's not like an easy thing to do. So I assume that you're going to have some pretty fierce pushback, like I was feeling as well.
Right.
But hopefully, like I came around, hopefully she'll come around as well.
Well, and so tell me a little bit more about, now that you know your highest lifestyle values,
Yeah.
how have you, because I mean, you had your business before you started working with us,
Mhm.
obviously, but how have you continued to build that business around those lifestyle values?
Yeah. Well, the empowering women, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, that's what I do for every day in my business, right? So like that's like it's also included empowering myself as a woman too, right? So and then a lot of the self-care and self-love time that comes in terms of that actually has to do a lot with taking more time off so that I can take time to exercise, so I can take time to actually sit down and eat and those types of things. But I think that the biggest thing that made a difference was really the taking more time away from my business to have more experiences and fun time with my family. Um, so let's see. So you want me to kind of go to the Joy Money Retreat and tell a little bit
Yeah, I
about
would
that kind
say
of
like
how
take
we got
us,
there?
yeah, take us through your journey of how we got there. And then I want
Okay.
to use the example, talk through your mommy Cohen days and also
Yes.
some of the work that your husband does with you. Like your
Yeah.
business and your family is really, really blended.
Yeah, exactly. We were talking a little bit earlier, right? Like I don't feel like personal and business is like a balance, right? Because what's a balance? I mean, that's 50-50, right? Like
Right.
my business, you can't, it's not like that. It's like
Right.
constantly just an integration of both of them. And there's no like way to describe like what that integration looks like. It just has to feel really in alignment with your soul, right?
Right.
And I don't even know what to say, like what that alignment looks like, because every day and like every week I feel like it's different and it's flowing, but it's really
Yes.
sitting in it and just feeling it and being like, okay, well, this week, I've got these other work things, so I need to put in some more work time. Okay, and that's what's going to happen this week.
I'm doing
But
it.
next week,
Yeah.
I've got some more time that's free, so I'm going to devote more time to my family. So it's like constantly like an evolution.
It is. It's
Um,
an ebb
um,
and flow.
it's a total ebb and flow. So like no like exact thing that I can say follow this. But
Mhm.
it's really just like digging into what feels really good in your heart and your soul and just continuing to go with that, or what feels like light, I think is a
Right.
good word to say.
That is a really great way to describe it. When your business is feeling light, then I think that's the best way to describe it. When it's that heavy, when it's like, dreadful, resentment, pushback, all those words, right?
Yeah,
Then we
yeah,
know that something is not in alignment. And being able to have a conversation and be guided to uncover what actually works and what is in alignment for you. And I think that's the amazing thing. What we're doing at the Joyful Business Revolution is what we come up for you, Karianne, and your business and your messaging is never going to be the same as the other photographer that we work with in Wisconsin,
no
even though
way.
both of you take photos of people and help, document memories and
Yeah,
moments.
yeah. Because it's more about who we are as human beings and about
Exactly.
our lifestyle rather than, and how, fitting our business into our lifestyle and having our business fulfill our lifestyle rather than the other way around.
Right. And
Yeah.
so walk me through your journey of when did this kind of resonate with you? What were we working on? What was
Yeah,
the aha and kind of how you took it from there?
for sure. So it's been a couple of years. So I
Yeah.
think a couple of years ago I attended a workshop like the beginning of the year, and that's when this whole or I don't know. I worked with Shannon one-on-one too. So at some point a couple of years ago is when this whole um lifestyle values came in. Okay. And so I
Right.
set them and stuff, and it was all good. And I set them, and it's like it's a thing, but I don't know that I was really super like
Hmm.
still, I don't think I had still kind of integrated that. I don't think I was still doing my business based on my lifestyle values, right?
Yeah.
So then we went to the Joy Money Retreat, and that was about a year and a half ago in Florida. And we're working through a whole lot of stuff, and I don't even remember exactly how the conversation was, but it was talking about my top lifestyle value of more time with my family, slash less time, more time away from work.
Yeah.
And I was telling everybody how my husband is a stay-at-home dad. And so at that time, my son was like 2.
Yeah.
They got to spend all this time together, and he was my first child. And I didn't have him until I was 41, and I was so grateful to have him. But then it's like I had him, but then I wasn't spending very much
Yeah.
time with him, and I was a little bit jealous of all the time that my husband was getting with him. And so one of the other ladies looked at me and she said, Carrie, would you want to be spending more time with your son? And I just like lost it. I broke down. And clearly when we lose it and we cry, or at least when I do, like I know that that's obviously something that I want to change. So so it was right then, you kind of mentioned it a second ago, it was right then that they kind of said, well, why don't you take a day off during your week and just
Right.
have like a mommy Cohen day? That's his name, Cohen. And I was like, okay. As soon as I get back, I'm like implementing this, and like it just felt
Right.
so good and so joyful, and it felt like I was in alignment with that lifestyle value, and it felt so wonderful. And then yet when I got home and put it into practice, it proved to be a little bit
Got a little
harder
scared. Yeah.
up here
The
than I
head
thought it was
started to
going to
kick
be.
in.
Than I thought it was going to be. So I'll stop for a minute, see if you want to jump in with anything, and then I'll
Well,
tell more of that story. But
and so I think that's the thing that when you have these big ahas, these big breakthroughs that you want to adjust, and you're realizing, all right, I have been doing this out of alignment. There is a different way, and there's a better way for me to be doing this. That all makes sense until you go put your boots on the ground and try to actually do it. And then the real world kicks in and fear comes up and all these things. And so being able to be loved and supported through the whole journey, I think is key, because we have the best intentions as humans. We are out there to do the best by ourselves and others, but shit gets in the way.
Sure.
Right? You can't say it any right.
Mostly this shit gets in the way.
That head gets in the way. So then you got back and you weren't able to just like dump full into having a mommy Cohen day, like, woo, no work for an entire day. So how have you made this work so it's in alignment for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say when I got back, of course I had full intention. It's like, of course I wanted to do this, but then in my head, it was like, how are you going to get all your work done? There's no way, you have way too much work, right? So it was like, okay, so I said, okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off every other Wednesday. And so that was kind of my compromise, right? So that's kind of where it started. And maybe that lasted for like a month or two. And then it was pretty much like, F this crap. I'm taking every Wednesday off, like, right? Because I enjoyed that time with him, and I wanted to have more of it. And it was, one day a week. And it's like I kept coming back to myself, Carrie, seriously, like
One day,
like your clients can't wait for you to answer them for one day, right? That was my own personal stuff that I had set up where I needed to get back to clients right away and all this stuff. And it's like, your clients can wait for one day, right? And of course, like, he's a little toddler. So of course he takes a nap. And so I work a little bit during his nap time, or I might work a little bit in the morning or something like that. But it really took about a month or two where I was just like, screw this. My son is more important. My time with my son is more important. It's not that my business isn't important, but I'm giving all this time to my business. I can give all this time to my son as well, right? And not feel guilty about not being there in the business. So kind of how it's evolved now is that, man, I look forward to those Wednesdays like no other. Like it's kind of like people who look forward to having Saturdays off or something, right? But I look forward to those Wednesdays for so many reasons. Like, we go out and we just get to do whatever the heck we want to do. It gives my husband a day. So he's a stay-at-home dad, right? It gives him a day like off, like, which is really great for him too. Being a stay-at-home parent is, I can't even, it's a lot. Where your life is constantly ruled by a little toddler.
This little cute guy.
Who's constantly demanding all sorts of things.
So
he gets a little time away. And then, Cohen and I, like, it's fun for me too, right? Like, I take him to the trampoline park and I get to play on the trampolines too. And like, that's really fun and like kid-like and childlike for me too. So it works out in so many ways. And then, at first it was like, okay, well, I'll take him out but I'll get up early in the morning and I'll work, and then I'll hang out with him. And then when he goes for a nap, I'll work some more. And then when he goes to bed, I'll work some more. Right. Like that was my thinking.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
still get in like 8 hours, even though I was hanging out with him, but so now, now I just give myself grace to take the whole dang day off. Right.
Yeah.
If I choose to do some work during the day, then I choose to do some
It's an
work.
active choice.
If I choose to take a nap or to read or to do whatever the heck I want to do,
Yeah.
like sometimes I still feel a little bit guilty. Like, this is a work day, Carrie. Your son is sleeping. You should be working. And then I'm just like, you know what? I work a ton. I deserve to have this time off for myself as well. So it's like Wednesdays have become this beautiful day where we hang out together. And then when he's napping, like I get a little bit of time to myself too, which is really wonderful. So, it all kind of morphed from, somebody else seeing something in me that I didn't see, kind of like we talked about earlier, like, Carrie, it really seems like you want to have some more time off with your son. And I was just like, yes. And now, I mean, it's like literally my favorite day of the week. So
I love it.
I
And
don't even book meetings. Like so many things take place on Wednesdays and I say no to them all.
Yeah.
Because like that time is like my sacred time with him. Right. And I feel like I miss out on some things sometimes, but you know what? I don't, because like that's more important.
Yeah. And I think that prioritizing what really truly is important is super duper key in our lives. Right. And so I'm going to ask a business question because we're a business podcast. So, I mean, has your business lost revenue because you're taking a day off with your kid?
No.
Okay.
No. So last year was when I implemented this, right? So it was a year and a half ago. And I grew my business by $100,000 last year from the previous year. And then this year, where I'm even taking more of those Wednesdays off, it's not quite as big of a jump, but it's still, it's increased from last year as well. So it's just it's growing and growing and growing, and I'm taking more time off. And, sometimes I'm like, oh gosh, there's so much to do. I need that extra day. And then I'm like, you know what? It'll all get done. It'll all get done. It'll all get done. Right. So no, my business has not suffered one little second from doing that.
And you haven't lost clients. No one's been pissed because you're at the trampoline park, right? Like,
not for one little second.
Right. Exactly. It's just giving yourself the permission to do what the fuck you want to do.
Well, and I think that when we're really in alignment with who we are and what we're doing with our life, like that's the client that's going to be attracted to you too.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I can't even imagine a client being like upset with me because I took a day off and maybe I got some stuff to them a day late. I mean, I mean, I guess that there's, but like, that's just not the type of person who comes to me, because I'm in full alignment with like, this is what's right with me. This is what's right for me in my business. Right. So I can't even imagine that that person would not be attracted to my business.
Yeah, exactly. And, I've had conversations with people where, the way I kind of book my day is by the end of the day, I'm pretty tired. And it probably isn't smart for me to try to write an email or review your copy or whatever. So I save it for the next morning. And I've had a couple people who respond back and say, well, you didn't get back to me the same day. I need someone who can respond instantly.
Oh, wow.
And sorry, no, that's not me. I want you to work when you're best in flow. And I need the space for me to work when I'm best in flow.
Exactly.
And for some people, being best in flow is touching their business, maybe a couple hours a day and having a shorter work, quote unquote, work day. Or, if it is a Sunday and you don't really have any plans and all of a sudden you get inspired to go write your blog, record your podcast, do whatever it is.
Yeah.
You have the freedom and flexibility to choose.
Exactly.
It's that you want to do that, not that you have to do that.
Right. Exactly.
It's such a different conversation to be having. I love it. Well, so Karianne, what's coming up for you? More time off and hangout time? It sounds like. What coming?
Every Wednesday, find me at the trampoline park. You want to do business? Come there. No, just kidding.
No,
Maybe I should start doing portrait sessions there or something like that. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh. I was going to say, if you want to have fun and
Right.
be like a 4-year-old, come to the trampoline. If you need a photographer, talk to me on Thursday.
Right. Exactly. I like literally don't even respond to emails on Wednesdays anymore. So if you're coming to me, don't expect a response from me that day. It's just more of the same thing. We've got season 3 now of Embrace Your Beauty, which is the 40 over 40 project, coming up, starting in December. And I'm doing another project that's more based on business women, versus real just like beauty stuff. So I have some more, just photographing more and more women to really help them see, how beautiful they are, at every stage in their lives they are. So, that's really it. Taking some time off over this holiday season, giving my permission to take some time off, to go away, to not take my laptop with me,
Yeah.
to just like enjoy a few days away. So, just continuing to live by those top 3 lifestyle values. And everything that I'm doing, ask myself if it fulfills those. And if it doesn't, then it's an easy way to say no.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for joining me today and diving in on this really, really important topic. And thank you for just being in our space and being in our community. I always love your energy and hanging out with you. So if I can grab an extra 20 minutes with Karianne, I'm going to.
And we're gonna have to find another time to get to Mexico for another
I
retreat.
know. I'd never done a vision board before. So Karianne was my first vision board experience. She's like, oh, I do one every year. And I'm like, I have never done one. So let's see how this goes. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everybody too for listening. I know this season, having our experts come in and tell stories and give different perspectives on their businesses and what's working for them, I'm hopeful that it inspires you to know that what is right in your heart for you and your business is what is right.
Yeah.
And it's okay to let the rest go. It absolutely is. So, well, join me on my next episode. I will have another expert on, and eventually we'll let Shannon come back in season 4. But right now I'm having too much fun. All right, Karianne, thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Grow Your Business for Good podcast with your hosts, M. Shannon Hernandez and Amy Hager.
Head over to www.joyfulbusinessrevolution.com/quiz to take the content personality quiz and join our community. And remember our mantra, if it ain't joyful, we ain't doing that shit.
If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the show, leave a review, and spread the good news with other coaches and consultants.